Okay, so welcome to this part. In this part, we are going to learn about materials. Okay, so let's say I want to place a cube here, and I want to change the color of this cube and how light interacts with this mesh, with this cube. So you will see that over here we have a material that makes the surface of this cube white, and we can create our own materials. So let's go to content browser, go over here in content, press right click, and let's create a new material. It's a good practice to have some prefixes when creating materials like M. You can also see this in the blueprint. We have a BP. So let's name this M color material. Okay, and we have created it. And let's open it. Let's dock the window somewhere. Okay, so here's the material editor. With right click you can move around this graph, and this is the material output. Okay, so this will be what color our material will be, how metallic, how specular, how rough, and some other properties over here. But in this part, for simplicity's sake, we are going to cover only color. Okay, you are going to see here that we have a preview of our material that we make applied on a mesh, and we can change the mesh that we apply the material to with this. We can apply it to a cylinder, to a sphere, to a plane, and to a cube. So yeah, now let's say I want to give this material we have made over here another color, let's say red. Let's in order to add something to this graph, similarly to the blueprint graph, we press right click and search for a constant 3. Okay, a constant 3 vector. In computers, colors are represented by 3 values: red, green, and blue. RGB, if you have heard of it. So yeah, that's why we need a vector, which is basically a collection of 3 numbers. Okay, and here if we press on this, we can change the color. Let's have it as a red, and you can see now we have some kind of red color. Let me make it more red, and yeah, we have a red material. Now our cube is red. So in order to assign, let's open our content browser, and we want to assign this material to our cube and make it red. All we have to do is drag and drop. Okay, and you can see now that our material doesn't appear. That's because we haven't applied over here our material and then saved the game. So apply and save in order to see our changes. Now here we are, and our cube is red. And of course, if I drop another object, I can again open the content browser. Let me dock the content browser in order to not open it up. Okay, we can drag and drop again as many times as we want. Okay, so now let's say I wanted to have a green material, a purple material, a yellow material. Now making again new kinds of these, like I would have to do basically like I would copy paste that a lot of times and then go over here, change it to something like blue, then apply, save, and then drag and drop it. Okay, and this is not a good practice, so let's do it another way. Let me show you some controls about over here. If you want to duplicate something, you press Ctrl D and duplicate it. If you want to delete something, you press the delete button on your keyboard, or you can go over here and delete it with like that. And in order to select multiple things, you select one item, and then while holding shift, select the item you want to include up to. Okay, and let's delete all those items. And yeah, let's go over here. Let's remove for now our red color. Let's apply, save, and yeah, all our materials now are black. Okay, now we will create what we call in materials a parameter. Before we had a vector constant, and now we create a vector parameter. Okay, parameter is something that you can change. Okay, so let's search vector parameter, and here it is. Let's name this parameter color. You can think of parameters as variables we covered in the blueprints. Okay, so let's plug this in, and again we have a black, but now we can create from this color material we have over here, we can create a material instance and name it mi, and let's say red. Okay, and let's open it. We see we have another editor over here, and if you tick that box, change the color you want, red. Okay, if we drop over here, you can see we have the red color. If I want to create let's say blue, I will create another one, mi blue, go over here, or tick this box, make this blue, drop it. If I want to have green, mi green, go here, over here, over here, and boom. Okay, so yeah, that was about it, about materials and colors. Let's change some other parameters for you to see. Every change I make to this material will be made also in these material instances that basically inherit from this base color material we have over here. Okay, so whatever change happens here will happen here, here, and here. Okay, so let's close them because we don't need them, and let's see what some other attributes do to how our object interacts with light. Okay, so let's see, the roughness is a very important one. Okay, and the roughness is a value from 0 to 1, and all you have to do is just have a scalar, search for scalar, not scalar, we don't need the parameter here, just search for constant. Okay, so you can see that now if roughness is 0, we have a very shiny object, and if roughness is 1, we have a very rough object. Okay, so yeah, and if I go here 0 and have it be very reflective, you can all our objects in the scene here will be also very shiny and reflective. Okay, very nice. Our sphere especially is very reflective. Okay, so we can let's Control C to copy paste this, and let's Control V to paste, and let's drop to metallic. This controls how metallic an object is, from 0 to 1 again, and you can tweak these values as you want, but let's remove it. And another nice effect you can have with materials is the emissive color. So let's say we have a color black. If I multiply this by some number and plug this into the emissive color output, we will have a lighting effect. So let's say 10. Now because black doesn't emit any light, but if we go over here to our scene, you can see that our objects seem like they emit light. Okay, if we remove this, set this to 0 and apply, they will not emit light, and yeah. So that was an introduction to materials. Hope you understood them. If you have any feedback, questions, drop them in the comments, and yeah, like and subscribe, and yeah, see you.